فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون من يضلل الله فلا هادي له ويذرهم في طغيانهم يعمهون. صدق الله العظيم. The sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was that Allah ta'ala would send anbiya and messengers from the people, from the nation, from that tribe itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending to certain people, then the Rasul would come from those people themselves. And the situation of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was no different. The Quran Kareem, which is being revealed in Arabia, which is being revealed upon those that understand Arabic, the Rasul also came from amongst them. And them being the primary audience. Obviously, the Risala of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam is beyond a specific space, and it is till the Day of Judgment for all of people in all places. That is why the mu'jiza of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the miracle of the Quran, is also ever living and forever. But as far as the Quraysh and those that were immediately or in the immediate vicinity of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the Quran Kareem was revealed in their language, and they knew the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just like all other people knew their messenger. As the Quran Kareem says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ, that your Rasul, your messenger which has come to you, he has come from amongst you, min anfusikum. He's not from outside, that someone from the Roman Empire is now coming to the people of Arabia and telling them something. Someone from the Persian Empire, someone from Hind, from India, from other places, that person is coming and telling you something, or he's bringing a kitab and book to you in your language. This person, this man is min anfusikum, from yourselves. Another qira'ah over here in this ayah, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفَسِكُمْ. This is also a very important point, that the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would be from the best of the best. Anfus with dhamma means from yourselves, from amongst you. Min anfasikum, from the best of you. So the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and every Rasul would have a seerah, a biography of good and khair and virtue amongst his people. It was never that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there was some criminal, then after that he became somewhat good, and then that person became a messenger. That's not what happened. The Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would always be, and more specifically Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was known as a Sadiq al-Amin. Before Nubuwah, he was already an accepted person, a person of good repute, a person who had a good background, a person who everyone knew that to be a person of righteousness and goodness. This was already an established fact. That's why in the books of Aqidah, of Ahlul Sunnah, we say that the Rasul is mu'ayyad bil mu'jiza, that he is assisted with miracles. Meaning that the miracle comes, but the miracle comes on the back of an already accepted and a reputable background. Someone who everyone knows to be a transgressor, a criminal, someone who does not have a good standing in the community, and that person does something astonishing, that still casts it out. So that what you're saying and who you are doesn't match. It doesn't match your life, your biography, your seerah, and what you're calling towards. There is a huge discrepancy between the two. So that's why no Nabi would be such that people would look down upon, or that that person is not accepted in society. They would be people who were known to be good people. So one of the propagandas, now this is on the one hand that the Ahlul Arab, they knew the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the other hand, when the mission of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam began, da'wah and calling towards good and forbidding evil and disowning shirk and saying that shirk is something which is incorrect, etc., etc., then one of the propagandas that they began was that they said that this person is insane. He is insane, majnoon. That a person who, there's one of two possibilities. That someone who is calling for something or calling towards something which is beyond the norm. This is what we call kharqul aada, something which is not normal. So for example, saying that an angel has come, which is recited the Quran upon me, etc., etc. There's only one of two possibilities. Either that person is truly insane, or the second is that this person is truly a Nabi and a Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what's one simple criteria for you to be able to tell? Right? So one simple way is that someone who has an accepted reputation amongst you, someone who is actually a very intelligent person, that his speech shows you that, his speaking tells you of that. He doesn't do other things which are, which is, I guess, known to be insane behavior. If you look at all of that, then what does that tell you? That this person, what he's claiming also, is definitely true. Why? Because his biography and everything else about him, his background, is in support of that. So the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you are saying that he is insane, now what you are saying, that makes no sense. In fact, that will be considered insane. That someone who, till yesterday, you were calling him sadiq, truthful, the most trustworthy, he was the one that honored all of you by placing the Hajar Aswad into the Kaaba. He held this great honor. All of these things, you're going to wash all of that away based on something which is actually possible. And not just possible, in fact, they also believed, it's not that the Ahlul Makkah did not believe in prophets. They believed in Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. They believed in the idea of having, of nubuwah. So what is different over here? So the answer in reality is, as we said, that this was a propaganda. In propaganda, you don't look at what is real and not real. In fact, people who engage in propaganda, they know what the truth is, they know it better than anyone else. But because a particular culture, a particular lifestyle, a particular idea and ideology and their honor and their status, that was what was at stake. So to protect all of that, they were ready to ridicule and give up anything which would go against that. So the Quran Kareem, in no uncertain terms, addresses this and criticizes the polytheists of Mecca and tells them, أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُوا? Do they not use their intellect? Do you not think about this? مَا بِصَاحِبِهِ مِنْ جِنَّةٍ. Their sahib literally mean companion. Why is the Quran Kareem referring to Rasul as their sahib, as their companion? They didn't believe in the Rasul of Allah. And to show them that he was from amongst you. He didn't come from outside. He's not an outsider. He's not someone who you do not know of. He grew up amongst you and you grew up with him. مَا بِصَاحِبِهِ مِنْ جِنَّةٍ. And if anything, it's on you. All these years you didn't realize that this person was insane, that you were trusting him. So in both ways, the Quran Kareem is proving and also at the same time critiquing and criticizing the mushrikun as well. إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. He, like any other messenger, he is a warner, he is a nadhir, and he's a clear warner for you. He warns you of what is to come once you leave this world. أَوَلَمْ يَنْظُرُوا فِي مَلَكُوتِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. What he's calling you towards, and he's the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which he brings, all of what's in support of that are all of these signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala around you. He's calling you towards tawheed. The ayat Quran are calling towards tawheed. Look outside, these signs around you, what else do they call you towards? They're also calling towards tawheed. Do they not look at the kingdom of the skies, the earth, and everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created? وَأَنْ عَسَىٰ. Do they not think about this? That soon their time will come to an end. And the Quran Kareem again and again shows that their position was that of arrogance. It's not that they didn't understand. It's very clear to them that they understood. The Quran Kareem being revealed in their language is in itself a miracle. Mu'jiz, the kalam itself, the speech itself is mu'jiz. They very much understood this. So the Quran Kareem again and again emphasizes that theirs is based off of arrogance. They're in denial. So the Quran reminds them that don't you think about this, that your time is coming to an end. In your heart of hearts, you know what's going to happen. فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثٍ بَعْدَهُ يُؤْمِنُونَ. If you don't believe in the Quran Kareem, what else are you going to believe If the Quran you don't believe in, that book which is la rayba fih, there is no doubt in it, that book which is calls towards a natural, normal way of life, something which is intuitive, which is not against a person's rationale, a very fitri and natural lifestyle that is calling you towards. If that's what you are denying and you don't want to believe in that, what else are you waiting for? Which other message are you waiting for? مَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَلَا هَادِيَ لَهُ. This is the reality. Whoever Allah Ta'ala allows to go misguided, and because of their own doing and their own stubbornness and arrogance, then no one can guide them. فَلَا هَادِيَ لَهُ. If you think about this, that throughout the world, there are people who are considered very intelligent. But someone is believing in monkeys, someone is believing in cows, so you sometimes sit and wonder that this rocket scientist, this person who is so intelligent, when it comes to his schooling, etc., he has passed with flying colors and all of these things. He's considered to be Nobel winner and this and that. But it's a very simple truth. Some are in denial that there is someone who is called God, that there is no existence of God. Some is believing in some other creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the reality. Now when a person acts in this arrogant manner, with stubbornness, then فَلَا هَادِيَ لَهُ وَيَذَرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves them to wander blindly in their transgression. Make dua that Allah ta'ala protects our iman, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps us upon deen and our generations as well. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.